All right. Welcome to another episode of the Let's Talk Photography podcast. Like any other week, we're going to be talking about cameras, lighting, gear, whatever comes to mind. And also the topic of the day, which is we're going to be talking about Nikon raising prices again. Okay. Now, it may be on just one camera, but is that a signal or a sign for what's to come? Okay. And the other thing is, well, that does that make it more attractive to third-party lens manufacturers like Viltrox and their new and 7Artisans and TT Artisans and all these other ones, Sigma and Tamron? So because not Viltrox, but 7Artisans just dropped their own 135 millimeter f1.8 super prime lens. And we're going to be talking about that and so much more. So let's get to it. So, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Photography podcast, where we go live every Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is 9 a.m. Pacific for those on the West Coast. Shout out to all of you. Since I've moved over to the East Coast in the United States, I have switched up my timing. I hope it works for a lot of you. This is, I think, my third podcast in this new time. Still the same day of the week on a Thursday, but now we're doing it a bit earlier, okay? Because if I was to stick to the 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, guess what? I would be streaming like 8, 9 p.m. And honestly, I'm much better. I'm an early bird, okay? So here I am in the morning. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know down in the chat. That's what the chat's all about. It's for you guys to share your opinions down in the comment section below. Of course, if this is the kind of content you enjoy and you like talking about gear or just want to hear other people talk about it and rant about it, feel free to smash that like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I have so many videos coming up, and I just dropped a few, believe it or not, for those who just got to my channel. First is earlier this week, I dropped, I think it was just last week, where I talked about my frustration about, do photographers care about learning about photography anymore? Because I've been noticing in my algorithm, and a few others have shared it as well, that guess what? They've noticed a lot of people clicking, watching, and reviewing when you talk about gear, and then when you try to educate or put up a tutorial or something, it just gets less reach or something. Now, I'm not saying that happens for every YouTuber, but I've definitely noticed a big difference. Matter of fact, just this week, okay, that video right there, which got a great conversation going, did a lot less than when I mentioned the Godox 8300 Pro 2 flash, and I did an unboxing and everything. That video did 5-6 times more. Okay, so hey, I don't know what it is. It is what it is. Maybe more people are just searching for more gear. Maybe the algorithm is more triggered to push more products for advertisers' sake. Whatever. Either way, I talk all about it. Feel free to go check out that video on my channel. I also dropped, as I just mentioned, my unboxing of the Godox 8300 Pro. Now, within that video, I did do a comparison versus the 8200. And the reason why I use these two flashes up against each other is because up until now, the 8200 has been my go-to when it comes to recommendations for new photographers getting into off-camera flash, studio flash photography, because it's inexpensive, it's super compact, packs a good punch, has TTL and high-speed sync capabilities. It's been a great flash, still is for me. And if you pair it with the mag mod, here's the pro tip of the day. When you pair the 8200 with the mag mod accessories, it opens it up even more. Matter of fact, let me see if I can go get it. Okay. So here is, let me unbox, but let me open this up. Boy, this box has seen better days, I'll tell you. All right. So if you have the, let me look up, where did I put that? Oh, okay. So here is, let's go to camera B and turn it on. That would be nice. Okay. So here's the 8200. All right. If you put the mag mod adapter, it's just rubber. It gets on real, wraps right around the head, the flash head of the 8200. Now you have two magnets right there. Okay, this is all from MagMod, very inexpensive. Now I could put the MagMod sphere. Let me get the sphere out. There it is. And from there, you put the MagMod. You put the 8200 with the MagMod adapter. Boom, bada, bang. Now you got the sphere on it. So you have the 8200 with the sphere on it. There we go. Woo, isn't that much better? All right. So now you have a nice diffused a high-powered speed light, right? Because that's ultimately what the 8200 is. So if you need some quick light on the go, this has been the go-to suggestion for me for a long time. It still is a great suggestion. But when I got the 8300 recently, and I bought it myself, Godox didn't sponsor me, and no distributor came and shared it with me or anything. I just decided to buy it finally because I was looking for an upgrade, quite honestly. I wanted a little bit more power. I want even more, I don't want to lose how compact and travel friendly the 8200 is. And so when the 8300 Pro 2 came out, I was like, oh, great. New interface, et cetera, et cetera. I love it so far. And here you go. Here's that 8300 right there. Whoops. Right here. There's the 8300. Okay. And then I have the 8200. And with these, let me go to second cam. With the 8300, you don't lose too much on the length, but you get, what would it be? It'd be 50% more power, right? Going from 200 to 300. Still high-speed sync, new interface, works with the X3 Godox trigger. Really awesome, still compact. So moral of the story is, go ahead and check out my unboxing and first impression video that's on my channel right now if you want to learn more about that 8300 Pro 2. All right. And then, of course, I have another rant video. Oh, my God, who would have thought? But I honestly shared a piece of the last week's podcast stream where I just honestly started ranting. I was like, yo, these camera apps suck. Okay. It is what it is. Yes, that's right. They suck. And they need to get their act together. All right. Specifically, SnapBridge. SnapBridge it drives me it drives me up the wall. Okay. And I can't stand it. I just go freaking nuts. I love the app. I love what it could do, but the reliability, the connecting issue, it'll finally connect and then disconnect. And it just drives me nuts when I have the Z8 and the Z6 Mark III, etc. So I can get it better connected to the Z6 III, but not so much the Z8. And it drives me up the wall. I don't care what anybody says. It doesn't work enough for me to be able to rely on it. Now, when I use the Lumix Lab app, that's why it's on this thumbnail. When I use the Lumix Lab app, and I was just retesting it before the stream, like, what was it? I think yesterday. When I use the Lumix Lab app on the S5 Mark II, so this is like there's a 5-year-old camera. S5 Mark II connects instantly. Once you pair it and get it going, it works great. I use those funky little LUTs in there, and I'm able to download it to the camera, right? I can download the images, the video. The Lumix Lab app works really great, okay? And I could tell that it works great because they busy promoting the hell out of it, and they're always updating the firmware, right? So shout out to Lumix and the Lumix Lab app because somebody got it right. And honestly, when I'm out and about and just having fun or like casual shooting, I want to just have a camera and then be able to post the photo I took with said camera as quickly as possible. I don't want to wait to get till I get home. I'm sorry. That is very 19 excuse me, that's very 2018. All right. I'm not waiting to get home anymore. I shouldn't have to. I want to take a photo and guess what? Immediately extract it from this camera wirelessly to my phone and post it. Now, the Lumix Lab app has fixed that. Every brand needs to mirror the user experience of the Lumix Lab app and just make it that reliable. It took me like it found the camera immediately. As soon as I put it on Bluetooth, it found the camera on my phone. I said it, connect with it, and boom, bada bing. Now, when I just turn on the Bluetooth, it automatically turns it on or connects to the app. I think it's so much fun. So I downloaded a few LUTs that other people have created and then put it onto my camera. So when I'm out and about, I can use that real-time LUT. And this is the S5 II. That means I don't need the most high-end Lumix to have a fun walk-around camera that I can immediately download, thus upload my photos from the camera. That's awesome. Nikon. I absolutely love using Nikon, as many of you know. But that app situation will make me say, you know what, today, matter of fact, this Saturday, I'm going to a like an open flea market, not a flea market, like an open like a downtown market event or whatever, right? My girlfriend wants to go. So I'm gonna go, but I want to take a camera with me. Just take random pictures. Guess what? I'm gonna be bringing the Lumix. Not that it takes better photos than Nikon or anything, but when we take a break for lunch or get some coffee and sit down for a second, I could quickly take a photo or two, download it to my phone and upload it for you guys to take a look at and comment and critique or whatever. That is why I'm going to end up bringing this camera. It's not because, again, that it's better. It's just because for candid everyday shooting, that user experience, that cherry on the top for the user experience with the mobile app, done deal. That's the camera I'm choosing. So I would love to take the Z6 Mark III. That's what I would probably take, honestly. And I was this close this week from buying the refurbished Nikon ZF for the same user experience. I want a candid camera that's just fun and casual to use. I want to have fun when I'm not shooting professionally or reviewing stuff. And the ZF fits that bill, and it's full frame, so that's pretty awesome. But then I thought about that damn snap bridge. I was like, you know what? I already have a camera right here, no issues. This is the Sigma. Let me show you this point of view. This is the Sigma 45mm f2.8, and I posted in the community tab that I want to start using this little lens more often. Look how nice and compact that is for casual, right? Super compact, Lumix S5 Mark II, very nice, very capable camera, and if I want to shoot video as well. Very cool. What is it? 58mm filter thread, 45mm f2.8 is just fine for casual walking around. So now I'm like, you know what? I already have this. I don't barely use this camera as much as I did, but I don't, when I'm looking, should I buy a refurbished ZF for $1,500? Now that is a good price, but at the same time, I'm like, if I don't need to spend $1,500, I just pick this camera up and the app works just fine. There you go. It's a winner. So, because remember, the best camera you have is the one you have on you. And even more so, the best camera you have is the one that does what you needed to do. Okay. All of our cameras after 2000, I'm going to say 2000 for sure, are perfectly fine. Let me say it again. Any camera you bought in 2000s is perfectly fine. It will do most things you want just fine. All right. As long as it has phase detect autofocus too. Let's throw that in there because if it has contrast, that's just going to frustrate the hell out of you. Unless you just like shooting manual. But ultimately, the cameras are great. If you bought any camera over the past 3 years, you're done. You're good. You're good. Hey, like I said, on Saturday, I'm taking this camera out. 5-year-old camera, mint condition with a Sigma lens. I am fine. Like, I'm good. I'm going to take banger photos with this thing. Okay. Guaranteed. And it's a small, nice, compact form factor. And with the app that works, it is going down. I can't wait. I'm going to have so much fun just doing casual candid photography. The older I get or the more experience I get, the more I just want to have fun with photography. Like, I just want to shoot just random shit, quite honestly, and just have fun. I love working with models. That is cool. I'm setting up photo shoots and all that. But you know what? It's a lot of stress too. Like, I'm tired of scheduling and looking for scheduled and hoping the weather works out well and this gear, that gear, and this shit gets tiring. I'm not gonna lie. But I love photography. And that's why I almost pulled the trigger on buying a refurbished ZF from Nikon because they had a great deal this week, by the way, that 4-day deal. Woo! I almost jumped on it. I think I would have just pulled the trigger if they had the black silver ZF for 1,500. Oh yeah, my head would have literally exploded. I'd be like, yo, I'm getting that Nikon ZF. All right. And the ZF is I don't need an upgraded version. I think the camera is perfectly fine the way the ZF is. It's supposed to be fun and cool and fun, and it works good with the app. Boom, that's it. That's all I wanted, and it's full frame, so that's like the cherry on dink top. All right. So, but with all that said, I'm just, I just want to have fun and enjoy the art of photography and just see things and capture things the way I see it at that moment. And I need that app to work. So if you feel like me, yo, go check out my latest video. Why camera apps suck, because they do. Most of them, except for Red, I heard is really good. Lumix is good. I believe I don't know if Blackmagic has one, but I'm sure theirs is pretty good. But either way, SnapBridge, get on it. All right. There you go. Woo, that was a lot of rant for first part of my video. Let's go check out these. Oh, wait, before we check out the comments, if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and follow me. I am on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Threads, and I'm pop locking on TikTok. All right. Well, maybe not that much pop locking, but more bad jokes and gear reviews. I share a bunch of stuff on there, and I'm thinking about being a little bit more active on TikTok and just trying to figure that out. All right. What I like about TikTok versus YouTube Shorts, like YouTube Shorts, I like posting if I could once a day, a quick short up there, right? TikTok, you can post more constantly, right? I wouldn't want to flood my Instagram like I would on TikTok. I wouldn't care, right? So I'm thinking about being more casually and just loose and more, less less produced updates on TikTok. So go ahead and follow me on TikTok. I'm Robert Silver-Photography. If you don't do TikTok, I'm always on Instagram. I'm always on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. So, and if not, then just come check me out here. And if you check me out here, you better know you should be subscribing and pressing a like on my videos. Okay. That really does help. A like is free, everybody. You know that, right? Let me say it one more time. Pressing the button is still free. Okay. Until they find a way to tariff that, it's still free. So go ahead and support this channel. Okay. Boom, bada, bing. I want to say Mushi Mushi. There we go. And we got Cooley in the house. Yes, I am in Michigan right now. I'm in Michigan. And that's why the time difference, Cooley. I not doing it toward the evening, around dinner time. I'm doing it super nice and early for me, quite honestly. 12 o'clock works better. My energy, I'm a early bird. So like I'm up at 5, 6 a.m. So 12 p.m. for me is lunchtime. And like I have a bunch of energy. So right after this, I just eat and I'll get some more work done. So I hope this works for you. But this will be the new time, 12 p.m. Eastern time. All right. Let's see here. You know what? We're going to be talking a little bit about lenses later. But first, let's get this out of the way. Let me get this topic out of the way. So I saw this and it got me thinking. All right, let me get to, am I on it? Yes, I am. Boom. And, oh, before we do that, I do want to share with you that if you ever are curious about the photography that I do, behind the photo shoots that I put on my YouTube channel, you could head on over to my website right here, click on blog, or on my homepage, you could scroll down. You can see the latest 3 blogs right here. And so let's say this one right here, the 8300. Now during this during this unboxing, I also did a what do you call it? A self-portrait session, because I didn't want to just do an unboxing and then all of a sudden you guys realize like, hey, how's the lighting itself? You know, just unboxing it and then talking about it is one thing. How about you put it through some pace at least, if not an extensive review? So whoop, here we go. So with that said, that's what I did. I was like, okay, I was running hot, finished the video already. I was like, you know, I still have time. Let's go ahead and set up a whole backdrop and softbox and everything. And I used the 8300 Pro with a Photex, the Raja 65 softbox over there. And I was like, yo, I need to update my profile pics anyway. So let's do it with this new light. And as you could tell, my website is taking forever to load because, you know, I got AT&T and I swear to the heavens, it fucking sucks. Okay. I don't get it. I'm paying for fiber here. You believe this, folks? I'm paying for fiber and this is it. All right. So AT&T, fix your act. I should not be having this issue. And guess what? The technician came today. All right. And this is still happening. So shame on AT&T. All right, here we are. Finally, my page uploaded. So you can watch the video of my unboxing of the 8300 Pro. But most importantly is down here, because I put together the article, I have photos. So you can see how the lighting is from the shoots that I did. So this is inside my place. I did it right here. I shot it right over, like right there. And I used one light, and my shirt, my new sweater, as you can see right here, get my swag on, just arrived that same day. So I was like, all right, cool. Let's just update it. Got my new sweater on, feeling myself. But most importantly is I want you to see how the light is. Like, look at the portrait. I was able to get the portraits I was able to get using just one light source, being the Godox 8300 Pro. And I was honestly really impressed. And I shot these, believe it or not, okay? Look at the camera I shot this thing with. You guys are going to be upset, I tell you. I shot it with, okay, right here, the Lumix S5 Mark II. Oh my God, someone's going to be upset about it. But yes, this is what I shot it with, you know? And that's what led to that rant video about the SnapBridge app. Like, it just absolutely drove me nuts. And the reason why I use that camera is because its lab app allows me to wirelessly control the remote control, the shutter, and all the settings of the Lumix S5 Mark II. So I can sit there, pose, get ready, hello, and then control the shutter of the camera while the camera was on a tripod easily. And at Nikon, I tried to get the Z8 to work, and it just wouldn't connect. It wouldn't connect. So I had to reset it up with the Lumix. So that's what I shot all those photos with. Let's go back to that. So right here, you can see all the photos that I took was with the Lumix. All right. But most importantly is look at the nice lighting. I mean, I really didn't do anything to these photos, like very little. But I love how well this, you know, got great portraits. I'd be very confident taking the 8300 Pro 2 on professional headshot shoots, no doubt about it. A nice compact setup, and then have the 8200 as hair light, edge light, or something like that. Those two lights, I can knock out a whole portrait session for corporate shoots, whatever I need. Okay, as long as it's not outside. But even still, the 8300 and the 200, I've used outside all the time. I just may not use it like during the midday a whole lot, unless you just want to go through the battery. But hey, you know what? Updated portraits, 8300, and there we go. All right. So you can go check. The moral of the story is when you go to my website and you see my blogs, especially if it has to do with a photo shoot, if you scroll down, you could check out the photos that I took with those photos during those photo shoot. Okay. So, like, for instance, where is it? Boopity boopity boop. Like this. Like this photo shoot here. I did all in black and white using natural light. Yeah, you can watch the video, which I appreciate. Smash the like. But here are the photos that go with it. So if you saw these photos throughout the video, yeah, it only stays up for like a couple of seconds. But if you go to the website, you can actually view the photos and then feel free to let me know what you think. All right. So anywho, I'm just letting you know, like, I'm trying to increase the takeaway value for all of you out there. So besides just watching my video, you can read the article about the photo shoot, about some tips and whatnot, and then also check out the photos I actually took. So I upload the high-res versions, and then you let me know if you gain some value from that. So I'm just letting you know what you go do. And if you don't, you don't. There you go. I don't know what to tell you. All right. Malcolm Walker in the house. Oh, here we go. Good to see you. These new streams are doing work during work hours. I'll jump in when I can. Awesome. No worries. Thank you very much for jumping in. I know a lot of people are working that during this time, but it's like, it's either I do it and like this time allows me to be consistent. Okay. 12 p.m. Eastern time allows me to keep it going on a very consistent basis. It doesn't disrupt my like personal schedule or anything like that on a Thursday. If I did it toward the evening and my energy's down and it's been a long day already, less inclined that I feel very pumped to do it. And that's happened a lot. Okay. So this is like when my energy is up. So I hope you can at least watch the rewatch and then post your comment down below, whether it be Cooley or Malcolm or whoever. Okay. What is that? Oh, excuse me. You said, what are you doing to establish yourself in Michigan? Well, I have a couple of things that I'm doing currently right now. So first thing is creating a workflow, because the time difference is so different from being in California and now in Michigan. I have to get used to that. It's only been like a few weeks, like 3 weeks or so. So I'm still getting used to creating a workflow. Now my workflow is pretty much established. And then also now I'm reaching out to a lot of the local talent, the local models, etc., and trying to really get a source or like a few models that I know I could regularly work with that will give me the images that I'm accustomed to. So that's a whole nother thing, because honestly, the models in the Bay Area obviously are so different from those that are locally here in Ann Arbor, Michigan, etc. So I'm still getting all that together too. So I already calculated that it's going to take me 60, 90 days to really get back up to speed and comfort here. Cool. Oh, who printed my shirt? It was Vistaprint. They did not sponsor me. God, I wish they did. Save me some beans. But no, Vistaprint has never sponsored me, but I've ordered every shirt, all my hats, everything that says Robert Silver-Photography on it. It's all been through Vistaprint because, well, they let you print out just one sweater. So, and the price is fair. Boom, I get it. It always arrives early. So shout out to Vistaprint. Malcolm Walker, I hate internet. My service sucks since I moved out, and AT&T is already on my nope list as an option, but I'm worried I will go back because they are the ones with fiber in my area. Yeah, funny thing you say that is because I have fiber. Okay. And I had fiber when I was back in California. I had Google Fiber. and Google Fiber was really pretty good to go, right? I did all my streams. Only a few times you saw some sync issues and stuff like that. But guess what? You know what? I've been having serious issues with the AT&T fiber, and I really want, as big of a company as AT&T, I figure like get on that. But to their what is it? But to them, I do have to give it up because they came like immediately to come fix things, make sure things are better. So, hey, I'm gonna give it like another week or so, see how well they are, and then I'll really make my judgment. All right. But in this age, I need this internet. You know this. I need to be able to stream. I need my audio and the video to be synced. And my other person, she's out there. She's out there streaming. We both work from home, so we need this internet to work. And in 2026, I have very little patience. It is what it is. This time gives you some options to build new community connections. Yeah, I hope so. I really do. I hope at this time, not only build more community, I hope more people are available to tune in and check out the video, obviously. And that's what I want. I want to grow the community. I'd like to network with other YouTubers, photography YouTubers, especially in my time zone, and hop on each other's podcast. I want all that. So I'm open to it. And I hope this time zone and this time slot helps me out with that. Let's see. Good morning, all. Good morning to you. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. And for those who tuned in, like I said already, right now I'm hosting a sale. It is currently free 99 to smash that like and subscribe to this channel, okay? Because believe it or not, a like is free. All right. I don't know why, like smashing a like, it's like asking someone to give up their firstborn son. I don't know what it is. All right. And for those who just tuned in, welcome to the channel. I really appreciate you tuning in. I've been going at this for some time, and you know the story of the little engine that could. Well, let me tell you, I definitely empathize and sympathize with that story tremendously. But I enjoy it. I'd rather do it than not. Are you Eastern or are you Central? I am Eastern. Okay, I'm in the Eastern time zone, so it's 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Okay, every Thursdays now. Maybe I should put that at my banner of my YouTube. Okay, Thursdays. All right, let's get to this next thing, shall we? We'll go here and bamboo. All right, so you can see right here. Look at this. Take that off. Nikon raises prices yet again. I think I have a sound effect for that. Actually, I just uploaded this new sound effect, and this is when I really want to swear and not get demonetized on YouTube. What the? Because that's how I feel. When I saw this article, that's exactly how I felt. Believe it or not, I'm pretty analytical. Like when something happens, I'll dissect that event or action, right? And then I'll, go back and say, why would they come to that conclusion? How would they rationalize it, et cetera, et cetera. And here we are with this article. Nikon Japan announced a price increase for the Z50 Mark II camera and a few other products. And it got me thinking. I'm like, we heard a little rumbles about a part of Nikon might be up for sale. Before that, there was a financial call, or what is it? They lost a lot of money last fiscal year or whatever. And as many of you know, I've been shooting, relying, and paying bills with Nikon since I've had Nikon, which is 15 years now. So I love Nikon. I love the quality I get from it, the images, the reliability, the tech. I have no problems with it. But the price increases are really getting on my last damn nerve. It really is. Now we had this made up price increase due to United States tariffing everybody, and then we got to, you know, we meaning the customers now pay for it. That 10%. The ZR was supposed to be cheaper. Okay. The ZF, when it says it's on sale, it's just the regular price it was before the tariff. So I don't know who's kidding who. So we're getting all these price increases. Now that's supposed to be the new normal. So when you see a sale, it's just the price it was probably most likely originally intended to be. So it's not a damn sale. And then when we see this price increase, it just drives me nuts. It drives me nuts because this is like, what do you call it? A ripple before the tidal wave. I think that's what's going to happen. And I don't mean like a major tidal wave. Things are going up 50% and whatnot. But if you increase the price to make something and then increase the price to get it, to move it, right? Gas, oil, etc. And then you increase the price to get it into the country, tariff, etc. This is what's happening. And these are corporations. They have to, if it's an American company, they have a fiduciary responsibility to make their stakeholders like money, right? I get it. They're in a pro-profit business. I'm not complaining about that. But us on the end, we get screwed. We get screwed. That same ZF I bought brand new at $19.99 for the body only is $2,200. Not that it's $200 more better. It's literally because of that action. That 10% got pushed to us. It didn't like improve the camera, give us more. There's no handshake and a smile that comes with the purchase. It's literally like, hey, there's a 10% markup because we have to get it into the country. Now you're paying for it, right? So when I see this price increase of the Z50, we're not talking about a high-end camera here, okay? Just in Japan, I almost think it's like market research. How are people going to react? Okay. What are they going to say, et cetera, before they push it across the board? Because that's basically like a trickle effect happened maybe 3 times ago, since the tariffs were in place. And this drives me nuts because it just makes it that much harder. And when a company, not just Nikon is just right now, but all the companies did it, Blackmagic, everybody did it. This just opens the door for third-party brands to come up. And I'm telling you, and they're all going to be Chinese. I mean, that's the reality. That is the reality. When you keep raising these prices, it gets harder and harder to justify for the average shooter, casual shooter, etc. And a lot of times, the first person to get into an ecosystem are casual shooters like myself. I bought a D50 5100 or 5300. I bought one of the 5000 D5000 series, right? 2-lens kit from Best Buy. I didn't know anything. I needed a camera, and this one came with 2 lenses. That's cool. That'll get me going. That's how most people get into an ecosystem. And then they upgrade and get a funny lens, and then they whine about aperture values and everything else. So making it that much harder, that means I'm going to look around before I make that final decision. Who has the best value? Who's going to give me what I want? And I think people are going to become less and less brand loyal as they once were because of this. And I don't see any other way. You hear me, I always talking about Viltrox and everything else. And for good reason, quite honestly. The value is there. The performance is there. The results are there. Who cares? I don't care who made it. You remember there used to be like a huge stain about like, oh my God, it's China. It's got to be Japan, 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 Japan. No one cares anymore. And most importantly, your clients don't. Stop it. Okay. I don't care what anybody says. Only you care and some other Joe Schmo on YouTube and Instagram cares. They want the results. I've only had clients look at my website and says, can you do that for me? They don't care how I got there. Matter of fact, if I can get there quicker, that'd be even better. So when I see these little ripples in the water, raising the price up a little bit, I'm like, this is not good. This is not cool. Not cool, especially again on a Z50 Mark II. On a camera, you want people to get into the ecosystem, move up to full frame, and you make it that much harder. I just don't understand the math. Like, how does that logically make sense when you're trying to gain market share? Right? I remember I was about to pull the trigger on a Pixis, what is it, a year ago, whatever. And that Pixis 6K went up. All right. It was $2,900, $2,999. And the Pixis 12K, right, was $5,000. I was like, yo, I can't believe these 2K. Holy cow. The price is ridiculous for what you're getting. And it went up to 10% to cover the tariff and all this jazz. I was like, why? What are you getting for 10% more? Like, I don't get it. And I haven't looked back. I've like teased myself. Maybe, the Pixis 12K is now Netflix approved camera and all this jazz. But I'm like, I'm literally giving them $500 more for the Pixis 12K from 5,000 to 5,500 and not getting $500 more. Okay. Help me understand how that makes sense after a while. Now I'm looking for the best value. Like, you know what? I'd rather, I might not get 12K and all this other stuff, but I'm looking at the Pixis, all this stuff. Maybe I'll get the Lumix S1 Mark II. I'll still get a lot of great stuff in it. Okay. I don't need to shoot 8K or 12K all the time. In fact, I don't want to. Okay. So 6K, I think is a great sweet spot. So I may, go with the Lumix or something like that with newer technology, better autofocus, et cetera, in-body stabilization. So, but that's what these price differences make me do. It makes me step back, maybe hold off a little longer, maybe really be critical about the current gear I have and say, you know what? I actually got some good shit. I think I'll be all right. For those that don't know, I make films as well as do this photography thing. The photography thing blew up for me way faster, right? Making money off of it, etc. But since the lockdown, I've been getting into short filmmaking, and I just had a feature documentary available on Tubi. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I did this short film at the time. It was 2000. It was 2000 when I filmed it. So I had only the GH5. I had a GH5 and then Lumix S1H. And I barely really understood how to get the full potential out of those two cameras at the time. I was only shooting with Lumix maybe a year in. Okay. I shot this documentary, barely knew how to do that, wrapped it up, boo. You could see it on Amazon Prime. You could see it on Tubi. And I shot it with the GH5 and the Lumix S1H. And I'm thinking to myself, why do I need to upgrade tremendously, really? And I got my shit on Amazon and Tubi. So it is what it is. And you don't need to upgrade as fast as you really think you do. That lesson, even though I made a lot of mistakes with the filmmaking and I was learning and everything else, and it still got placed, I still earn my pennies from royalties from that film. And I aside from, I made those achievements and whatnot, I didn't have the most expensive camera. I didn't have a 12K Ursa, Ursa Mini, whatever, 12K and 17K or hell, 8K or 6K. I recorded it all in 4K. All right. At that time, I wasn't as strong as or confident as I am today to color grade or anything like that. So what I'm saying is those cameras are still capable of me producing good stuff that will eventually can get me to Amazon Prime or to Tubi or to whatever else. Let me land the plane. If you have a camera like this, a Lumix S5 Mark II, you're good. Guarantee you. I had a beautiful, very short film I finished late last year, and I did a screening, and it was one of the opening films for my screening, and it was only maybe 5 minutes long, and I shot it all in a Lumix S5 Mark II. I shot it with this camera in Vlog 10-bit 6K open gate, and the colors were magnificent, too easily to color grade. It looked so good. It looked so good. I was so proud. I was like, yo, I shot it on a camera you can get for $1,500. Okay. So it's like these camera brands raising these. The moral of the story is the camera brands that keep raising the price, stuff like that. It makes me want to hold on to my good shit. It makes me first appreciate the good shit I have. And then it makes me say, you know what? I don't need to buy the next camera so quickly. It really, the cameras have to really do something better for me as a creator, whether I'm doing a film or if I'm doing a photography. All right. And for photography, that hill is even steep. It's more steep because all these cameras we have from the, quite honestly, your cell phone in some cases, a Lumix S5 Mark II. And I only bring that up because it's 5 years old. For photography are just great. You're great. You're fine. Not everybody shooting Olympics. Let me remind you. Not everybody has to shoot at home plate and get the perfect shot. Because a lot of great shots that were all over the papers were shot with a fucking film camera and all sorts of issues. Okay. So like we've gotten so gear crazed and tech crazed that we forgot that your cameras are pretty damn good. All right. So photography, we're covered. Video, there's some improvements, there's some things and whatnot. But honestly, for what we do, 95% of us, the cameras are great. They're great. Like, dude, the easiest way to fix a lot of the problems is proper lighting. When it comes to shooting video, shooting film, you can get around your cameras. You can shoot a full feature and you'll save tons of money. On a Lumix S5 Mark II open gate, you could repurpose your footage and all that other stuff you want to do with it. For me, shooting open gate, I was able to reposition the framing. There was like a boom in one shot, and whoop, you never saw it, not at the end. So you could get all that out of these cameras. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, you're good to go. You're good to go. So when I see these pricing, let's go back to this price increase stuff. I'm sitting here ranting as usual. When I see these price increases, it just makes me appreciate the stuff that I have. It makes me want to learn my camera even more. Last week, I was on my couch. Oh my God. I was on my couch and I was literally going through the menus of this very camera. Again, reintroducing myself like, oh yeah, I remember that feature. That's a cool feature. And that's what I really learned or appreciated how well the Lumix Lab app works. I've never used that real-time LUT feature where you could make it on the app and then download it to your camera wirelessly. I never did that. I've used LUTs and real-time LUT feature on this camera, but I never did that. So I was like, you know what? Let me learn it. So I was watching Hell's Kitchen because that's my show. Love Chef Ramsay. Shout out to him. And I was sitting there just tinkering with the camera features, just learning this camera better. And if we did more of that, we'd be even better. No one will ever know you shot it on a $1,500 camera. I say 1,500 because that's what I believe this camera is, brand new. Okay. It's a great freaking camera. You know? Look at this. If I'm shooting something, you can complete, I don't give a shit what anybody, you can do a feature on this camera. It's the Lumix S5 Mark II X. All right. If you want to do ProRes, it can do it internally, finally. It's compact. The autofocus, if you need it, it's reliable. This camera is so compact, you can fit it everywhere. Like, cameras don't impress me as much anymore because I know what people could do with even less. If you watch 28 Days Later, 28 Years Later, and all those 28 something movies, granted they had absolutely amazing rigs and lenses and whatnot, but ultimately they were using a freaking cell phone. What I realized, especially with a lot of movies that are getting bought out at Cannes Festival and recent award-winning films, it wasn't, sure, the cameras help. Let's not be stupid. But the story is what sold it. The story. So I'd rather put more money into a good story and marketing the good story than buying another big camera. That camera has to solve a serious issue that these can't overcome, and some good lighting. They'll talk about dynamic stop and all the dynamic range and all that. Yeah, that all helps if you have like really shitty lighting. But if you have some decent lighting, you're good. Look, I'm doing this right now with the Lumix, the Nikon Z6 Mark III. I have I think sub $300 lens. It's a 35 millimeter f1.8 lens right now. It's a 7Artisans lens. So it's a third-party lens. Now, this camera's great dynamic range, Look, that's where I'm at without any lighting. You just add a light. This light my key light is a 25 watt max panel light from Lume Cube. I just turn it on, boom, makes the camera look like a winner. Proper lighting will solve 90% of your issues, okay? I don't care about bending and all this other jazz. If your story is awesome, people will watch it every time and rewatch it again. So that's why I say, spend more time on lighting, maybe lighting gear. You just don't need to switch from your cameras as much as you do anymore. You just don't. And I am only saying that because if they keep doing these little games, more and more people are going to stay with the camera they got. And more people are going to learn how to use that camera even more. And they're going to appreciate the damn technology that's already in their hands. So that is just me. All right, let's get to some comments. Woo, I'm sorry, guys. Woo, see, this is what happens when you catch me in the morning. This is how much energy I've got. I'm going to just go, man, I'm telling you, I'll just go off. So if you agree with me, just let me know. All right, let's check out some of these here comments. I see people probably wagging their fist at me or something. Just watch Froze News, and he said it might be for sale. Yeah, I saw that too, where it might be or whatnot. I don't believe, I don't want to jump on anything until for sure. And if so, he did mention that it might be like a department. Okay, not the cameras department, right? But like the optical for glasses part. He made a very good point about that part. All right, because you have to realize, like Panasonic, Canon, Sony, Nikon, they're like a huge conglomerate. They have different divisions doing different things, right? And it's not just the camera and lenses, or what do you call it? I don't know what you call it. Like, that's just a small portion. Otherwise, they couldn't stay in business. All right, that goes for Panasonic. You can buy Panasonic TVs and fridges and all sorts of crap. Okay. Toasters and whatnot. So it's the same thing. I was happy to see the Sony A7R5 come in at $4,500, as I will be purchasing it after my house sells. Rumors had it at $5K, but Sony in the past has released it at a lower price, then raised price later. I think from what I've heard about that camera, man, I've heard everybody just loving this camera. So I can't wait to see what you have to say about it. Okay, because for those that don't know, if you're looking for Sony updates or someone that just knows Sony in and out, Malcolm Walker is the guy. Go check him out on his YouTube channel. He's somebody I would go to. Once in a while, I get my hand on a Sony or go to some like some Sony event, and I enjoy it. But it's really from a Nikon or a Lumix shooter perspective. Okay, so I'm not the best guy to ask about Sony. It is what it is. But Malcolm is phenomenal. So go check him out. I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to say about the camera. This side toward toward the screen. This is why I have not bought a new camera in 3 to 4 years. I now am looking at the used market. You know, it's so funny that you say that, because that's what I was doing when I got that email from Nikon about the 4-day sale. And I was like, you know, I have been thinking about a fun camera, and the ZF was and is the most fun Nikon full frame camera I've ever had. I so wish I never sold it. And I was like, let me just see what it is for refurbished right now. And I saw the black on black for $1,500. I was like, dude, maybe that would be a fun. And I had so much fun with the 40 f2 lens, that little compact lens, the SE, the little retro looking one. Like, I didn't miss that. And that whole setup is like 1,700. I was like, man, maybe I should pull the trigger on that. But I didn't. But yeah, the used market, that's where you're going to find some gems. I stopped the constant need for the new. I am able to do my work in older cameras. Then why do I need more features I'm not going to use? I really don't like computational or AI in my cameras. Well, I can definitely attest to the features part, right? I'm just going to call it like it is. I think most people don't use, understand, or even know half the features in their camera right now. Okay. That's what I believe in. I think really half the features of your camera, you don't know what it does. And even if you did know all the features, I bet you don't use half of them. That is for sure. Because like I said, just recently, I really just sat down and said, you know, I'm going to see how do you do this whole LUT thing and yada yada. I went to Lumix USA YouTube channel like a newbie. How do I use this app? And then, oh, this is why the Lumix Lab app is pretty cool. It does all these other things aside from just allowing you to remotely use your camera and download photos. I was like, oh, okay, that's what's up. I can't wait. So I get it. Yeah, the features that's why I said, do these, like when you're looking at a camera, does it do something better than your previous camera? And does it make your job that much more easier? In most cases, it just doesn't. It's just a great camera to say, hey, look what I got. It is what it is. The drunk wedding photographer in the house. OM System has the EM10 Mark IV for $600. 7,000 with a kit lens. Nikon needs something like that. Been saying it for years. Yeah, I remember the conversation I had a couple weeks ago on the podcast that if they came out with a full frame fixed lens compact camera, it's got to be at I'm thinking no less than $1,200, quite honestly. I think that would be a great win. It's got to be cheap, close to that $1,000 mark. Move these units. Just get the units moving. Get them moving. Because for those who want to upgrade to full frame interchangeable lens Z-Mount, they're going to do so. But I think they should treat that fixed lens compact camera, if they do come out with it, as a loss leader. Like, get them in, make a minimum amount as possible, get them out. Like minimum amount as possible, meaning the price. So I hope so, man. I think that would be great. Nikon only wants pro luxury customers. No bueno. And that's sad because guess what? A lot of the pros, you know, have a fun camera, a candid camera, right? And guess what it is? It's not a Nikon a lot of time. I hate to say it. Look at me. I just want a small phone, a small camera, easy to use. and it has an app that works really well, so I can quickly post it up. A Lumix is in my hand with a Sigma lens, and that's sad. I think Nikon can really, ruffle some feathers, cover some ground. They came out with a full frame compact camera that new shooters or inexperienced, casual shooters can enjoy, but also pro shooters can respect and have in their pocket for just some casual shots. It's a win-win, you know. But who knows? I only got like 7 people watching me right now, so I know Nikon's not watching and caring what I gotta say. My mom bought me my first camera at Ritz camera at the Nikon N75. It was the intro body then in 2004. It's how I got into the Nikon system. Exactly. Just like what I said, I think it was the D5100, was my first camera, right? It was mine. And guess what? It was my daughter's first camera. I gave it to her with the 2-lens kit, etc. Yeah, I got it from Best Buy. And that's how I started. Then I got this D7000, then the D750, then the D810, and the D850, and then, here we are. But that entry level, inexpensive camera with the right price point is what got me into the ecosystem. So thank you for proving my point, drunk wedding photographer. What's the name of the documentary? Oh boy, you guys. Okay, here it is right here. Let me pull it up. Okay, let me go to my account. And there we go. See my wish list. Let me pull it up. It is. Boom. All right, here we go. Check it out right here, Malcolm. This is my film right here. COVID-19, the fallout of the modern pandemic, is a documentary that I shot when everything locked down in the Bay Area. I wanted to do my part, and my part as an artist was to record history. That was like what I was like, that's one way I could contribute. And so what I did was, all around me, there were community members, teachers, students, professionals that were all trying to react to this modern day pandemic. And I was like, I want to start interviewing them and just get it on paper, get it on video, their experiences, because it was fascinating to me. So I only did like 5 short documentaries before then. And I was like, how much different could a feature version be, right? Instead of doing a 15-20 minute doc, all right, I'll just do a, over an hour. So I just started making it little by little. I did a little crowdfunding. I only had $750 budget, a Lumix GH5 and a Lumix S1H. And I just said, screw it, I'm just going to do it. So here it is. I have a distributor, so they handle the sales and getting it onto these platforms. And so this is my first featured documentary. So the moral of the story is, let me turn this off so I don't know, I get a strike against myself. But the point is that I did it with cameras that didn't cost a whole lot. The GH5 is pretty dang cheap. Oh, and I did it with the Lumix S1 as well. Some of these shots were the S1. These were some B-roll shots I found. This is some shots. And then I just put together a documentary as best I could. And I want to share their experience of this situation. And I just shot it with the cameras I had. I shot these folks on the street, I think I used the S1H for these, or if not the GH5. And that's what I did. I just shot it with what I had. Okay. And ironically, you could say whatever you want about the documentary and whatnot. If you do watch it on Tubi, feel free to smash that like button. I did it on my own. I did it my way. I did it the way I just learned. I just figured it out, and I did it with cameras that anybody could afford, really. At the time, the S1H was pretty top tier. It was like $4,000 at the time. But nowadays, $4,000, it's a little above average, unfortunately. So if you have a camera, you can pull off whatever project you want. You can do it. You can freaking do it. You don't need to upgrade so fast anymore. All right. So that's what it's called. It's on Tubi. It just got placed last week on there. Feel free to go check it out. I didn't mean to advertise this, but I guess I did. But the moral of the story is that you could go ahead, watch on Tubi. Boom. And I just posted the link in the chat. My point was that look what I did with a friggin' GH5, a Lumix S1, and a little bit of the S1H. I mean, these are all consumer available cameras. Don't let them sell you on the hype. Like, dude, you just don't need to. All right. Anywho, hey Malcolm, I appreciate that you appreciate the awesome rant. Keep it up. Hey, I've just been pissed off a lot lately. Not for like trying to be negative Nancy, but like we can do better in many areas. Like if you love someone, you want to correct them. You want to say, hey man, stop that. That's gonna mess you up. You could do better. And that's my rant. That's my intention when it comes to my rant about Nikon or Lumix or whatever brand that I enjoy using. Okay. A fanboy, like a true fanboy, will always find a way to justify their slip-ups, right? Like, that's what I think. They're a kiss ass, basically. But I'm glad you appreciate it, Malcolm. Leonardo says Nikon always had a problem with connection. I know, it drives me. It drives me nuts more, and I have less patience more than ever in 2026. Like, can we just be honest? 10 years ago, fine. Okay. It is what it is. 2026? Come on now. I can use the Neewer app. Neewer, you guys know Neewer, but their app works flawless. Okay? Which is a third party, like up and coming, third party lighting company, whatever you want to call them. They're not Aperture, but the app works great. Thus, I use it. That light that's hitting there is with Neewer. I have another Neewer light that I use because it's reliable. It's reliable. That's it. That's all we want, and doesn't give us the results that we desire. Pics by Traffic. What's up, man? Good to see you. He says Nikon has 1 billion features in its menus. Overwhelming. You're right. Unfortunately, all the camera brands do. Lumix definitely does. I like it. I'm not saying have less features. I'm saying that your camera has plenty enough features to keep you busy in producing high quality photos or video for a long time. Like, you're good. Okay. Spend more time understanding lighting, composition, storytelling, whether it be still or video. Like, that's a much better investment. Getting out and shooting, finding a reason to shoot. I'm going to a little market or some sort on Saturday, and I'm using that time to have fun with photography. And I'm going to share it with all of you on my community tab, so don't worry about that. And I just want to get back to like the process of photography, of creating, of seeing an image and then capturing it and hopefully communicating it to those who see it, besides myself. So yeah, we have plenty of features. Have fun learning them. Find a reason to learn them. And then you'll find out, you know what? I really don't need to upgrade. I used to upgrade every year with my iPhone, like religiously. I was one of those. Boom, 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 boom. When it first started with the iPhone X, the 10. And every year I get a new one. And I was like, I think it was like 4 years ago or something. I was like, these upgrades aren't really upgrades, right? Come on now. I said, what am I doing? And I started waiting 2 years, and I waited 3 years, something like that. Like, I just upgraded to the 17, but I had the 14. Then I noticed a big upgrade. Then my brain was like, yo, this is good. Now I see the value in upgrading because I waited and it truly improved the internals, etc., whatever. So, just when so yeah, like if I was to get like I said, the camera that excites me right now is isn't it fun? Like that's what I'm looking for right now. I looked at the most recent cameras, the ZF, this supposed Nikon compact camera. I even looked at the L10 from Panasonic. I'm like, yo, these cameras could be fun. Like that's what I want in my pocket. I'm not trying to get rid of the Z8. There's a place for that. The Z6 Mark III, there is a place for that. Hell, that's what I used to stream with. But my Lumix S5 Mark II X, I'm not getting rid of this as of now. And as I said, I still have the Lumix S5 Mark II, and that's 5 years old. But I'd like a fun camera. I mean, that's kind of cool. I could use that. I ran my Sony A7R II as I just never saw a reason to upgrade. But after 4 generations of cameras, the fact that while having dinner with a Sony executive one night, he asked me what I wanted. Hello. I like that. Well, hold on. Where did my thing go? There you go. That's awesome. To see in a camera, I asked for illuminated buttons. They finally did it. And honestly, they should have. I mean, that's like the most easiest thing they could have done. Come on now. That's a little underhanded throw there, okay? Well, they should have had illuminated buttons a long time ago because so did Nikon for some time. And I believe not Lumix. I forgot who else. But yeah, it's not a new thing. I just wish they did it earlier. I have Fuji X. Oh, see, now that camera, the Fuji X-T5, I really looked at that camera back in the day in the 4 because it looks sexy as hell. It's compact. And the photos I always saw from that camera look great. I just never ended up getting one. Then I got gas and bought the Nikon Z50II for a good sale. $1,200. Yo, that is a good one. Not sure if that was a good idea because I have to spend time learning a new menu, and Nikon menu is wild. What's funny about that is people talk about Nikon menu, and I believe a little bit with Lumix. I say the same thing about everybody else's. When I tested out the A7 V, that menu system, I might as well have been reading Egyptian hieroglyphs, dude, I didn't know where to get to what. And I just wanted to switch from JPEG to RAW, and everybody feels the same way about everybody else's menus. I don't care what anybody says. The only one that looks semi like digestible, honestly, is Blackmagic's looks kind of direct, So shout out to their menu system. But I hope you have fun. I've heard great things about that camera. Watching it tonight. Thank you, Malcolm. Appreciate that. Manila Martin. Hello. I hope in Ann Arbor is treating you well. Watching from the Philippines. Hello. Thank you for watching from the Philippines. Really do appreciate it. All right. In the meantime, in between time, please feel free to smash that like, of course, share, and at the very least, subscribe to the channel. All right. Special sale, $3.99. Quit being cheap. Let's get to the last thing here. This was pretty cool. Not gonna lie. It's pretty cool. Not that I'm like jump on it, but I did like this. I did like this. Check this out. 7Artisans just jumped in the game with a 135 millimeter prime lens, f1.8. Pretty interesting. It ironically looks very similar build as a Nikon Z version. That's what it reminded me because it's cut. It looks very similar. Okay, almost as if they just literally just put 7Artisans on there. But whatever. What really impressed me was the price point this lens came out with. And I'm very fascinated. Why are these brands, like they're like gateway into Z-Mount sometimes is like the 135 millimeter f1.8 lens. That's so interesting. Viltrox did that. Then they came out with the 85 and the 50 and all this other stuff. And here we are with 7Artisans doing the same thing with the same kind of prime. Very interesting. So so it says it's now available for order or pre-order. Let me, oh, it says coming soon in B&H. Okay. But look at the price point. $689. $689. Full frame, available for E, Z, and L mount. Oh, that's cool. F1.8 to F16, 82 millimeter filter thread. No surprise there. Let's see. 12 aperture, 12 blades here. It's heavy. We knew that part, and it's made out of metal, so at least you got that going for you. You have clickable aperture ring there, declick control ring, boppity boppity bop. All metal body, Type C for firmware upgrade. I swear this lens looks very familiar. But anywho, okay, what is it? What is this thing promoting? Okay, something about its autofocus system, I'm sure. Okay. But hey, if you don't have a super, first of all, the Nikon Plena is still, to me, in my opinion, like a magnificent prime lens in the Nikon ecosystem. Like that Z-Mount lens is crazy. It's sharp, really good with autofocus, even with moving subjects. It is very expensive. I think the Plena, let's just see here. Nikon Plena is $2,200. Okay, so $2,200 right now. And you can have a 135 f1.8 full frame lens for Z-Mount for just under $700. Yo, that's crazy. I mean, you're literally paying a third of the price. Jesus, I just want to know, how does it handle, you know, in real conditions? But it's under $700, and it, whoops, what did I just do? Oh, okay, I tapped on it. This is crazy. 135 mil for under $700. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. When our native brands, let me go back up to it. When native brands, I shouldn't say native, major brands, name brands, whatever you want to call them, are raising their prices, giving you, they want to charge more for less, and or give you a new model with less features, like that doesn't justify the new price. These brands like 7Artisans, Viltrox, even Tamron, Sigma, all these guys, they're going to come up right behind them and give you value at a very affordable cost. Like, do not feel ashamed to check out these brands. I'm live streaming with a 7Artisans 35 mil f1.8 lens right now. That's right. Shots fired. Shots fired. Okay. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm streaming right now. It's on autofocus, AFF. All right. If you've been watching my streams, you've been seeing me use this lens from 7Artisans. So I'm only going to assume, since I've had great experience with this 35 mil lens, that the 135 mil lens will be just fine. Most people that's getting a 135 are shooting portraits with this lens. If you're a wedding photographer, headshot photographer, fashion photographer, look at this lens for under $700. That makes this lens $110 cheaper than Viltrox. What? And you all know I like some Viltrox, okay? Um, that deserves a looking at. That deserves a looking. I already have the Viltrox 135 f1.8. I love the lens. It's heavy, it's big, built well. But when I when I when I put that to my Nikon and I take a photo, you just get magical photos. Now you can get the same lens, not even on sale, brand new right now, $689. Come on. This is exactly proving my point that I mentioned earlier, that when we see these price increases, we see them giving us another model, but with no real reason to upgrade, these brands like this are going to come up and give you the reason. Oh, you didn't need that lens, but guess what? Look at the price. Give it a shot. I think last week I mentioned, no, I just posted a video about like f1.4 versus f1.2. And Viltrox has a whole line of f1.2 lenses. And I told people, hey, if you want to save even more and still get spectacular results, go to the f1.4. You'll save a couple $100 and no one will know the difference. Right? So with all that said, this is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. For those who may be in the market for extremely nice, I'm sure it's going to perform well, prime lens, this should be taken seriously for $689. You get a black mist filter if you want. Damn, that's pretty cool. Anyway, I just wanted to share that just because I'm like, damn, these brands are not playing. 7Artisans, Viltrox, Sue is definitely one of them. They're coming out and they're coming out with cool stuff. Sue did that, autofocus anamorphic lens. They really were starting to champion that. And then everybody else started coming out with stuff to answer that. I'm like, damn, that's pretty cool. So maybe the innovations in these smaller brands, they're showing you that they can make well-performing, top-tier optic lenses at a much cheaper price. It gets harder to justify the native prices of the native lenses. I could be wrong. I don't know. You let me know down in the chat. Thanks for making inventory order entries more entertaining. I'm out. I'll see you all around. All right. Thank you, Malcolm. Thank you very much for tuning in. I meant to do this, but right on. He deserves that as well. There you go. Thank you, Malcolm. And picks by Patrick says, question about the third-party lenses. Will they last as long as the major brands? With the glass fade as they get older? Well, I mean, truth be told, all the Viltrox I have are within a 3-year. No, a couple of them are 2003. Yeah, I'll say within 3 years old. 0 issues so far. Obviously, it also depends on use case, how you store them as well, stuff like that. I always keep them in my rolling cases, zipped up, keeping dust away from them and stuff like that. So those are some variables you have to also account. So far, so good. I've never pulled out a lens so far and be like, damn, what's going on? I'm not getting the same performance out of it. So far, so good. Being that you have some APS-C mounts, I honestly think you should look at some third party because the price for APS-C is even better. So, and the options are out there. So, oh, okay. So he says electronics going out before fungus develops in the glass element. So as long as you use them every week, you're good. Yeah, I haven't had any issues with mine. I have the 135. I am going to pick up the 85-14 for sure. That's the next lens I'm getting from Viltrox, the 85-14. I have a 28, a 40. I got 5 lenses. I forgot what the other one is, but they're all good. All my Sigmas still all good. I have a gang of Sigma lenses. I am looking, I've been thinking about the Tamron 35, the 100 f2.8 lens too. So honestly, I haven't had any issues with third party and definitely not with the native lenses yet. So to be continued, I guess. All right. So with all that said, everybody, it's getting close to the end. All right. I'm a little tired. Got to eat some lunch. Here we are. Okay. So for those that are new to my channel, please smash that like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I will be going live yet again next Thursday, same time, 12 p.m. Eastern time, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. All right, I hope that this time works for all of you out there. If you want, feel free to go ahead and follow me on all those socials. You can check out my other socials, the links to them at least, down below. One for Facebook. I'm on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and all that good stuff. All right. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know down below in the comment section. I really appreciate you listening to all of my rants. It means a lot to me. It really does. And if you think my ranting is too much, let me know about that too. Okay. So with all that said, until next time, keep shooting and stay creative. Thank you for watching, everybody.